So it might be just days since the Lionesses have won, who held their European Championships title, but the football season proper for 2025-2026 is about to start. So we finished last season now, finally finished, and now it all begins again. So I thought it was a good opportunity to talk about how you can potentially save some money, reduce some costs of watching your favourite team, your favourite competition on the telly, because it isn't cheap. It is very, very, very expensive, particularly if you want to watch it all season long, particularly if the team that you want to watch isn't just on one broadcaster, it's littered across a number of different ones. So you've got subscription here, subscription there, highlights here, highlights there. It can all add up quite a lot. So first of all, though, talk about is what you might want to watch, and then we'll talk about where you can watch it and how much that will be. Now, over at becleverwithyourcash.com, I have made a much, much, much more detailed, I haven't got time to go into it now, list of exactly when the games are going to be on in principle. Not the exact fixtures, but for example, Sky Sports this year will have at least 215 Premier League games, which is a lot. In fact, all games in the Premier League this season will be shown apart from ones on Saturday at 3 p.m. But you've got like 32 on a Saturday at 5:30, 32 on a Sunday at 2 p.m, 32 on a Sunday at 4:30 p.m. You know, they get the drift. So you get an idea of exactly when those matches might be shown, also the split between the different broadcasters. Let's quickly go through bit by bit, though, the highlights of this, so to speak. So if you want to watch the Premier League in 2025-26 on TV, Sky Sports, as we said, will have at least 215 games, so a huge number there. TNT Sports, previously, BT Sports, obviously been a few seasons now where it's been rebranded as TNT, will have 52 matches. And again, some of those will be on the weekend. Some of them will be midweek fixtures. And there's a big mix there. Highlights will continue to be on BBC's Match of the Day. So if you want to watch the Premier League, it's Sky Sports, it's TNT Sports, or highlights on the BBC. Now, just preempt some of the comments, some of the questions you might come in. Well, what about dodgy Fire Sticks? What about all these other ways you can get that stuff? Obviously, we all know there are ways to illegally stream football matches and all kinds of sport. I will be focusing here just on the legal ways, the proper ways that you'll be able to watch this content. Coming on to European football, the Champions League, the Europa League, Europe Conference League. My team, Crystal Palace, is going to be in one of those. Hopefully the Europa League, but most likely it's with the Conference League. We won't get into that now, though. But effectively, if you want to watch most European football, then TNT Sports is going to be the place for you. So yes, you've got some Premier League, but you've also got the vast majority of those European matches. With one exception, though, and that is Amazon Prime. Because Amazon Prime, as you may have noticed, doesn't have Premier League this year, but it does have, and it had it last year as well, 17 Champions League games. So basically the Tuesday night matches, it has the first pick there as you go through the season. So if you want to watch European football, hopefully TNT, but you might want Amazon Prime as well. BBC will have Champions League highlights. Now let's look at the Football League, which is made up of the Championship, League One, League Two, and obviously the EFL, the League Cup. Sky Sports will have the majority of the games there. A huge number of games, more than 1,000 matches are going to be shown on Sky across the Championship and those other areas, including the Carabao Cup, the Trophy Cup as well. But you will get some matches on ITV. Not a huge number of them, both EFL League and EFL Cup matches. So you might be able to just put up with some free matches there. You don't have to pay in order to watch those games. The Women's Super League is mainly going to be on Sky, but the BBC will have a decent number of games there as well. If the games aren't on Sky or BBC, then they're going to be shown on YouTube. So again, you might be able to watch a large number of those Women's Super League matches. In fact, all Women's Championship matches for free on YouTube. And then let's quickly talk about international matches as well. Again, you won't need to pay for the majority of these. ITV will have the England games. The BBC has Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland games. And if you are in Wales and want to watch it in Welsh, then SC4 will also have those. So you won't have to pay for any of those ones. So that's give you an idea of the different channels, the different broadcasters you might want to get. How do we then bring down the costs of all of those? And let's start with the biggie, which is Sky Sports, because as we've established, they have got the vast majority of the matches across most of the tournaments, with the exception there, really, I would say, of European football and internationals. Now, the obvious people, we think Sky Sports, where do I get that? Well, I get that via Sky. And of course, you can go directly to Sky to get this, or if you are with Virgin or other broadcaster, TV package subscribers, you can get add-ons to that. Now, this season, this is talking about prices for newbies. Obviously, you're an existing customer. You might be able to haggle, call them up and see what deal they're offering you. But I wouldn't have thought you're going to get massively much different to what a newbie is offered. And that is not too bad. It's £20 a month for all the Sky Sports channels. But with that, you've got to remember a couple of really, really key caveats. First of all, you can't just get Sky Sports with Sky. You can't just get Sky Sports with Virgin. You have to have that underlying TV package as well. And that is going to cost you money. The cheapest, again, for newbies, version you're going to get of those basic Sky channels is around £18 right now. £18, again, not too bad. You can probably get a bit less than that. You go for the more basic £15 a month Essentials Sky package. But bundle it together, let's say at least 35 quid for these channels. Yes, you get a basic Netflix included in that as well. But you are also tied in for 24 months, which is a long time. And if you're only interested in the football, you're not so interested in sport that happens off season or when there's nothing going on, again, you're paying for something that you don't necessarily need. They do have an option called Sky Stream. Now, Sky Stream is, as the name suggests, you can sign up for it on a longer contract, or there is a version you can do on a 31-day rolling contract. There will be setup charges if you're a new customer here. And once again, you also can't just get Sky Sports, you also have to get the basic Sky package as well. So that's going to add up as well. It's about £25 a month just for the sports and £18 a month for the Sky Entertainment and Netflix. So again, much more expensive, but you do have that flexibility of cancelling it every kind of 31 days if you wish. I think there's a much, much better option here if you are looking at Sky Sports though. It could be more expensive in some ways if you are going to pay the full price every single month. But there are a number of ways to bring the price down. And this is how when I watch something on Sky Sports, this is how I do it. And it's called Now TV. Now, you're probably familiar with this because you've seen the adverts. You've heard me talk about it before. Genuinely, I think it is the much, much better option than Sky for your normal TV channels. I would absolutely ditch Sky TV or Virgin TV, not pay for them at all, because I can get them and stream them for far, far less with Now TV. Sports, as I say, is a little bit more complicated because the full price of a Sky Sports package on Now TV is $34.99. Now, that is the same as what a newbie would get signing up to Sky TV, and you get the extra things with Sky TV, such as being able to record and what have you. But the big difference here is you are not tied into that 24-month contract. You can do this on a rolling basis. Again, it is just the sports channels that price, not the other ones. So you have to pay extra if you want Sky Atlantic or Sky Max or whatever it might be. But you don't have to. And this is where I think it gives you that real extra option here. If you just want sports and none of the rest, go down this route because, yes, it's $34.99, but there are always deals to bring that price down. If you have not signed up to Now TV before, there are often introductory deals. In fact, the time I'm recording this, there's one which is £26 a month, and that's locked in for 6 months, although you are also locked in for 6 months. You can't cancel it after a month if you don't want to. But again, starting to bring the price down. But if you are already a customer, look out for deals. And I would expect there to be emails coming around anytime soon, the run up to the season starting, where it might be as low as $19.99 a month. And that price might carry on for the entire season or even for 12 months. And often they don't give you that kind of lock you in for that minimum period for this price. It can be month by month. Yes, if you end up cancelling it after 2 months because your team's not on telly anymore, then, when you renew again, it might be at a high price. But again, often these deals do come through. And I think I've only signed up at full price once or twice in the last few years. I've always signed up when there's been a cheaper promo that's come along. And in fact, another good bonus you can get with Now TV is if you have a package and you go to cancel it, they'll often give you a discount for you to stay on. So that's how I've managed to keep the price down month after month. But of course, something to remember here, very, very important here, more so for Premier League teams than for the other leagues because they more like to show more matches of the lower leagues. But if you don't support one of the big clubs, then your team might not be shown that often. You might find yourself, paying 20 quid, 30 quid a month, however it is you go about it, and only be on once every month, once every 2 months, something like that. Which again, if you're not interested in the other matches, you only want to follow your team, that flexibility to cancel it at any time really helps bring the price down. And there's also another option for the more casual football fan with Now TV, and this is the day pass, which is at $14.99. Sadly, gone are the days where you could get this much cheaper, potentially even for free. But again, if you only want to watch one game every now and again, 15 quid is much better than paying double that for matches and then never watching anything on there at all. What I'd often do though is I would keep an eye on the Premier League schedule of when the matches are announced, because sometimes I can time it, and by 1 month and I'll get my team Crystal Palace, I can get a match at the beginning of the month and a match at the end of the month, hopefully at a discounted price, but either way, cheaper than paying full price. So that's my top tips for you there when it comes to Sky Sports. Going via Now TV instead, looking for deals, trying to cancel it to bring the price down if there aren't any deals out there, cancelling it completely if you're not watching it, give you that flexibility, and over time you will save. The exception though, I will say, is if you are a dedicated Sky Sports customer, you really, really will be watching it all week, not just the football, but everything else that's on there. And you definitely want to have this all the time. And you also want to have some of the other basic Sky channels. You might be better off going to Sky, and if you're an existing customer, haggling with them, seeing if you can get the price brought down as the overall package as much as you can, or looking for one of these season passes where it ties you in for a year, but you'll be paying that slightly less amount with Now TV and just forgetting about the other channels. But of course, Sky isn't the only place where you can be able to watch football this year. As we know, TNT Sports does have some Premier League, and it has the vast majority of that European football. So what do you do there? How do you watch TNT Sports? Well, this sadly has gone down. The options to save money have reduced in the last year. You can only now basically pay for a monthly pass or pay for a larger contract. That monthly pass is going to cost you around that kind of 30 to £35 mark as well, depending where you get it. You can do that directly via the Discovery Plus app. That's where you would get TNT Sports now via Discovery. It's not the cheapest option. Again, if you're going to be doing that month after month after month, continuously streaming directly through them, you might be better off seeing if there are deals with the likes of Sky or BT TV or EE TV as they rebrand to, or Virgin TV. What I would say as well is to have a look. We have got a whole list of different ways to save on TNT Sports, because those BT customers, those EE customers, sometimes they can get extra special deals and freebies or cheaper ways to get it. So if you already are with them, and I wouldn't say it's worth moving so you get your broadband from BT or EE or your mobile from EE in order to access these offers, but if you're already with them, then it's something to consider. So for example, my parents have had BT internet for a long time. They don't want to change it. They haggle to get low prices if they can, but they don't want to change it. But they're still on a legacy package where they get TNT Sports for free. So that's been great for us. Now, there will be changes coming along. So BT have agreed to completely sell their whole investment in their part ownership of TNT Sports. When that comes through and they've got no longer any ties to TNT Sports, we might see some changes. But at least now, at least at the start of this season at least, they are good ways to do that. Now, the other kind of big one we spoke about was Amazon Prime Video. So no Premier League this year, but you have got those Champions League matches. So if you are interested in those Champions League matches with Amazon Prime, don't just go and buy a £95 annual Prime membership. Of course, you might want to. You might think it's great value because you get all these other things that come with Amazon Prime as well. But I'm personally of the view that you're paying for something, and because you're paying for it, you're spending more money at Amazon. So I think more broadly for most people, ditching Amazon Prime is a great way to save money. You can still shop at Amazon if you want to. There are other ways to get free delivery. There are other ways to shop around and get money elsewhere if you need to. So instead, there are a couple of tips here for you to bring down the Amazon Prime Video subscription. First of all is get a free trial. Now, obviously, the Champions League matches are spread out over the season now. Previously, Amazon, when they had the Premier League, it was just over a couple of weekends in Christmas. You could pay for 1 month and that was it, or get the free trial for 1 month and that was it. But if you haven't had Amazon for a while, but you've had a free trial previously, go into your account and see if they're offering you another free trial. They normally do this after 12 months since you last had a membership with them, but sometimes it can be sooner. Sign back up, and at least that gives you at least 1 month for free. Obviously, if you carry on then with that full Prime, it will cost you £8.99 a month, or the annual price of 95 quid a year. But if you are only focused here on the football, then there is another trick for you, and this is to get just Amazon Prime Video itself. That is just £5.99 a month. It can be a little bit hidden when you're trying to find this within the Amazon kind of menus and stuff, but you can pay just that £5.99. You will only be able to access the streaming of the videos, but that's saving yourself at least £3 for the months where you want to watch it. And again, with this one, the same with any other kind of passes that let you cancel. If you're not watching it, make sure you cancel it. Save some money. Don't pay for something if you aren't watching it. So they're the main broadcasters and how to save money on them. But there is one last tip for you that is certainly worth thinking about. And it's something you might just be doing anyway, but if you're not, maybe be a bit more conscious about this. And it is just sharing existing subscriptions with friends So you can do this on TNT Sports. You can do this on Now. You can even do it on Sky. There are obviously things and pros and cons here you need to be aware of. With Now, for example, you might have to pay extra for someone else to stream at the same time, and that can range from £6 to £9. Although again, there are ways if you cancel it to bring it back down. They give you a deal to lower that price, because if you want to watch the same match at the same time in different TVs, you'll need something like that. So it could add costs. But have a look at those, see if you can share and get them to contribute to your subscription, or maybe they've got TNT and you've got Now, whatever it might be, that might help bring prices down some more. But either way, good luck with the coming season. I hope your team does well. My name's Andy Webb. Check out these videos here for more ways to make the most of your money.